Elena, I'm starting to think the sun has something against me.
That's a dramatic way to start the day. What happened?
I left my house this morning for a 5-minute walk. 5 minutes. When I got back, I felt like I'd spent the afternoon in the desert.
That bad?
I even checked my phone to make sure I wasn't standing on the surface of the sun.
Maybe not the surface of the sun, but it certainly has been unusually hot lately.
Exactly. And the strange thing is, every year someone says, "This is the hottest summer I've ever experienced."
I've noticed that too. It's becoming a very common conversation.
Which actually reminds me. Hello, everyone. I'm James.
And I'm Elena. Welcome back to English Unchained.
If you're listening while driving, walking, studying, or simply relaxing, we're really happy you're here.
Today, we're talking about something people discuss all over the world. Not just scientists, not just politicians, ordinary people, neighbors, friends, families.
Before we jump into today's conversation, we'd love to hear from you. Has the weather changed where you live during the last few years?
Write your answer in English in the comments. And if you enjoy learning English through real conversations instead of textbooks, don't forget to like this episode and subscribe to English Unchained. Let's begin.
Can I tell you something funny?
Please do.
Last week, I opened my weather app. It said, "Feels like 42 degrees." I looked outside, then looked back at my phone, and thought, no thanks.
Did you stay home?
Absolutely. I suddenly remembered I had absolutely nothing important to do outside.
Very wise decision.
Do you know what's interesting? When I was a child, summer holidays felt completely different.
In what way?
My friends and I played football outside for hours. We rode our bicycles. We stayed in the park until sunset.
Same here. My parents usually had to remind me it was dinner time.
Now, after 20 minutes outside, I'm already searching for the nearest tree.
Or the nearest ice cream shop.
Exactly. Ice cream has become a survival tool.
I think many listeners know exactly what you're talking about.
Here's something I've always wondered. People often say the weather is changing. Other people say the climate is changing. Is there actually a difference?
Yes, a very important one. Weather is what happens today. It's sunny, it's rainy, it's windy. That's weather.
So if I walk outside and it suddenly starts raining, that's weather.
Exactly. Climate is different. Climate describes the usual weather in a place over many years. It's the long-term pattern.
Oh, so weather is today's story, and climate is the whole book.
I love that example. That's exactly right.
I finally understand the difference. I've been mixing those two words up for years.
You're definitely not the only one. Let's imagine we're neighbors. I'm watering my plants. You walk outside. Ready?
Ready.
Morning, Elena.
Looks like another hot day.
It certainly does. I watered these plants yesterday, and they're already thirsty again.
Poor plants. Honestly, I think I need watering too.
Maybe a nice cold glass of water will help.
Probably 2 glasses.
See? That was completely natural. People talk about the weather every single day.
It's probably one of the easiest conversation starters in English.
Absolutely.
Simple topics often create the best conversations.
Do you think people are paying more attention to climate change now?
I do. Not because they suddenly became experts, but because they're noticing small changes in everyday life.
Like hotter summers?
Yes. Longer heat waves, unexpected storms, heavy rain in places that usually stay dry, or very little rain where people normally expect it.
I've noticed that weather forecasts seem more important than ever.
Exactly. Many people check the forecast before making plans, going hiking, having a picnic, even traveling.
It's funny. When I was younger, I checked football scores first. Now, I check the temperature first.
That's called growing up.
I'm not sure I like it.
Today's conversation isn't about making people worried. It's about understanding a topic that's becoming part of everyday English.
Because whether you're talking to friends, watching the news, or traveling abroad, there's a good chance someone will mention climate change.
Exactly. And by the end of today's episode, you'll feel much more confident joining that conversation.
In the next part, we'll look at something even more interesting. How climate change quietly affects our daily lives. Sometimes without us even noticing.
And trust me, some of those examples might surprise you.
You know, when we started talking about climate change today, I thought we'd mostly be talking about the weather. Hot summers, heavy rain, things like that.
That's what many people expect.
But now I'm realizing it quietly affects so many parts of our daily lives, even the things we don't usually think about.
Exactly. Climate change isn't only about what you see outside your window. Sometimes you notice its effects in completely unexpected places.
Like where?
Let's start with something everyone does. Shopping.
Really? I wasn't expecting that.
Think about the last time you went to a supermarket. Did anything surprise you?
Actually, yes. I looked at the price of strawberries and immediately decided I didn't need strawberries anymore.
That's a very practical decision.
I just stood there thinking, were these strawberries grown on the moon?
Sometimes unusual weather affects farms. If crops don't grow well, there's less food available. And when there's less food, prices often increase.
So, a very hot summer or too much rain can eventually affect my shopping bill?
Exactly. Everything is connected.
That reminds me of something embarrassing.
This should be interesting. Go on.
Last year, I decided to grow tomatoes.
Oh, how many did you grow?
Technically, 0.
0? What happened?
I watered them every day for a week. Then I went away for the weekend. When I came back, they looked like they'd completely given up on life.
Poor tomatoes.
I apologized to them. It didn't help.
Speaking of plants, have you noticed people talking more about saving water?
Definitely. But I never really understood why.
In some places, long periods without enough rain make clean water more valuable. That's called a water shortage.
So it's not that water disappears, it's that there isn't enough for everyone's needs.
Exactly. That's why many people try to use water more carefully.
I've actually changed one habit recently.
Really? Which one?
I don't leave the tap running while brushing my teeth anymore. It seemed like a tiny thing, but now I realize small habits matter.
They really do. Millions of people making small changes can create a big difference. Imagine we're at home. Ready?
Ready.
James, did you remember to turn off the garden hose?
Oh, I completely forgot. I'll do it right now.
Great. Saving water doesn't take much effort. It just takes a little attention.
You're right. Sometimes good habits are simply about remembering. Can I ask you something else?
Always.
When people talk about pollution, are they only talking about factories?
Not at all. Cars, factories, burning rubbish, and even large wildfires can affect air quality.
I've noticed something. After it rains, the air often smells cleaner.
Many people notice that. Fresh rain can make the air feel cleaner and cooler.
It's one of my favorite moments, especially after a really hot day.
Mine too.
Let's ask everyone listening something. What's one simple thing you already do to help the environment?
Maybe you recycle. Maybe you carry your own water bottle. Maybe you walk instead of driving short distances. Write your answer in English in the comments.
And if these conversations are helping your English become more natural, don't forget to like this episode and subscribe to English Unchained. You know, I used to think climate change was only about the future.
And now?
Now, I think it's already part of everyday life. When we shop, when we travel, when we pay our electricity bill, even when we decide whether to take an umbrella.
Exactly. That's why it's becoming such a common topic in everyday conversations. Not because people are experts, but because they're experiencing these changes themselves. I never expected a conversation about climate change to feel so personal. Because it is personal. It touches all of our lives in different ways. I'm curious about something now. If climate change affects everyone, can one ordinary person really make any difference? That's probably one of the most important questions of today's episode.
Then let's talk about it.
That's probably one of the most common questions people ask. If the problem is so big, can one person really make a difference?
Honestly, that's exactly what I was thinking. Sometimes the problem feels so huge that my small actions don't seem important.
I understand that feeling. But let me ask you something. If one person throws a plastic bottle into a river, does it matter?
Of course. Every piece of rubbish matters.
Exactly. Now imagine 1 million people making one good decision every day.
Oh, when you put it that way, small actions suddenly don't seem so small.
That's the idea. Real change often starts with ordinary people, not superheroes, not celebrities, just everyday people making better choices.
Can I tell you about something I changed recently?
I'd love to hear it.
I started carrying my own reusable water bottle.
That's a great habit.
At first, I only did it because I was spending too much money buying bottled water.
Saving money's a good motivation.
Then I realized I was also using much less plastic. So it became a habit.
That's a perfect example. Sometimes doing something good for yourself also helps the environment.
I've noticed another change. More people bring reusable shopping bags now.
Yes. A few years ago, plastic bags were everywhere. Now many people bring their own bags.
I still forget mine sometimes.
Me too. Then I remember right after I've entered the supermarket.
Exactly. And I stand there thinking, I knew I forgot something.
Let's imagine we're shopping together. Ready? Ready. Did you bring your shopping bag?
Actually, I forgot it again.
That's okay. It happens. Maybe keep one in your car next time.
That's a smart idea. Future James will thank you.
I hope he remembers.
You know, people often think helping the environment is expensive.
Sometimes the opposite is true. Walking instead of driving short distances. Turning off lights. Using less water. Those habits can even save money.
I never thought of it like that.
Helping the planet and helping your wallet.
Exactly. Everybody wins.
Speaking of walking, I've started walking to a nearby cafe instead of driving.
How far is it?
About 15 minutes.
That's perfect. A little exercise, fresh air, and less traffic.
Although, sometimes I spend the money I save on coffee.
Well, nobody's perfect.
Here's today's challenge. Choose just one eco-friendly habit this week.
It could be bringing your own water bottle, walking a little more, or remembering your reusable shopping bag.
Tell us which habit you choose in the comments. We'd love to know. And if these conversations are helping your English, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to English Unchained. There's something I really like about today's conversation.
What's that?
It doesn't feel hopeless anymore. When people only talk about problems, you start feeling powerless.
Exactly. But when you focus on practical solutions, the conversation becomes much more positive.
Small actions. Every day. One step at a time.
That's how good habits begin. Not with perfection, with consistency.
You know, I think that's true for learning English too.
Absolutely. 10 minutes every day is usually better than 2 hours once a month.
Interesting. Climate change and learning English have something in common.
They both remind us that small, consistent actions can create big results over time.
I like that comparison.
Me too. And speaking of the future, our next conversation is all about hope. Because around the world, people are creating new ideas and new technology to protect our planet.
Here's today's challenge. Choose just one eco-friendly habit this week.
It could be bringing your own water bottle, walking a little more, or remembering your reusable shopping bag.
Tell us which habit you choose in the comments. We'd love to know. And if these conversations are helping your English, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to English Unchained. There's something I really like about today's conversation.
What's that?
It doesn't feel hopeless anymore. When people only talk about problems, you start feeling powerless.
Exactly. But when you focus on practical solutions, the conversation becomes much more positive.
Small actions. Every day. One step at a time.
That's how good habits begin. Not with perfection, with consistency.
You know, I think that's true for learning English too.
Absolutely. 10 minutes every day is usually better than 2 hours once a month.
Interesting. Climate change and learning English have something in common.
They both remind us that small, consistent actions can create big results over time.
I like that comparison.
Me too. And speaking of the future, our next conversation is all about hope. Because around the world, people are creating new ideas and new technology to protect our planet.
You know, after everything we've talked about today, I'm actually feeling more hopeful.
Really? What changed?
At the beginning of this episode, I thought climate change was just a list of problems. Now I'm realizing there are also a lot of people working on solutions.
Exactly. And that's the part we don't always hear enough about.
So, where do we start?
Let's start with energy. Have you ever seen solar panels on a house?
Yes, they're becoming much more common,
They use sunlight to produce electricity.
which is pretty amazing, considering the sun gives us energy every single day.
Exactly. Instead of depending only on fossil fuels, many countries are investing in renewable energy.
I've heard that phrase before. Renewable energy. What does renewable actually mean?
It means the energy comes from natural sources that don't run out quickly, like sunlight, wind, or flowing water.
So, unlike oil or coal, we can keep using them.
That's right.
I saw something interesting last month. A huge field filled with wind turbines.
Those giant white towers?
Exactly. I couldn't stop looking at them. They were turning so slowly, but producing electricity.
Wind energy is becoming more popular in many countries.
They're much bigger than they look in pictures.
I know. The first time I saw one, I was surprised by its size. Imagine we're on a road trip. Ready?
Let's go.
Look over there. Can you see those wind turbines?
Wow. They're enormous. I've never seen so many together.
Wow. They're enormous. I've never seen so many together. They generate electricity using the wind.
Nature helping people. I like that idea. Speaking of technology, what do you think about electric cars?
I think they're becoming more common every year.
I've never driven one. Have you?
Just once. It was surprisingly quiet.
Really? No loud engine?
Almost no sound at all. It felt very different.
I think I'd miss the engine noise.
Give it a week. You'd probably enjoy the silence.
Maybe you're right. Can I ask something?
Of course.
Do you think technology alone can solve climate change?
No. Technology helps, but people matter just as much.
Meaning our daily habits?
Exactly. Better technology plus better choices. That's a much stronger combination. We're curious. Would you like to own an electric car someday?
Or would you rather use public transport more often? Tell us what you think in the comments. And if you're enjoying today's English conversation, don't forget to like this episode and subscribe to English Unchained. You know, when we started today's conversation, I thought climate change was a difficult topic.
And now?
Now I think it's actually a topic we can all talk about. Not because we know every scientific fact, but because it affects everyday life.
Exactly. You don't need to be an expert. You just need to be able to share your thoughts. Every conversation helps you become a more confident English speaker. One sentence at a time.
Thank you for spending part of your day with us.
We'll be back very soon with another real-life English conversation. Until then, keep practicing, keep smiling, and keep speaking English.
Take care, everyone.
Bye!
Bye.